Hi there, welcome to Max Modded Skyrim. We are level 35. We are in the Dragonborn Museum. We just returned with the Amulet of Kings and also an item called Shield of Roman Cyrodiil, which this fellow Auryen was very excited about. He said they resonated together and asked for a few days to look into that. So we've waited that prerequisite amount of days, and now we're going to talk to him and get the rest of the scoop.
My friend, I have some incredible information about the relics to share with you. Is now a good time?
It's never a good time to listen to you talk because you talk endlessly.
Then please, come have a seat and we'll talk.
So speaking of having to listen to him talk endlessly and having to just literally follow him to wherever he's going, we have some good news and some bad news about this episode. Let's see. So the good news is fixed the sound. So when I was editing the last episode, I figured out that there were some sound issues, specifically some difficulty to hear my voice when hell was breaking loose in terms of fighting and whatnot, and just some other balancing issues that I put together. Also fixed some other issues with how loud the NPCs talk, some menu things to make them not quite as evasive to the immersion, since I'm so worried about immersion. So the good news now is you should be able to hear me talk over NPCs when they're talking better and over battle better. And then their voice comes up or sound comes up when I stop talking. Let's see if that works. So that's the good news, is the sound should be fixed better for things going forward. The bad news is I had already recorded this quest and the next quest for the next episode. So I'm not going to be experiencing those two dungeons for the very first time, unfortunately, because they're both really cool, and I was pretty awestruck, at least by this one we're about to do today. Maybe that translates into better good news, which is I'm going to have a little bit more idea what I'm doing. Because I really didn't. But you weren't getting my spontaneous reaction to any of it. Oh, you won't be this time. Because it won't be. I've already seen it, and I kind of have a relatively clear idea of what I'm going to be doing. But, oops, I promised I wasn't going to cut him off, although it's really difficult not to.
By powering the white gold tower. I would be very curious to know if restoring the stone would have any effect on the larger scheme of things. Now, as to the other figures involved, there is Raymond Cyrodiil, who had a rather mythological origin.
I love how he adds additional pauses to what he's saying, as if it needs to take longer.
Upon the site of Sancre Tor, the Golden Hill. The spirit was the land itself, and Hrol placed the Chim El Abadal into the dirt, where his son was planted, and then he died. Raymond was then born from the soil, and bore the gem upon his forehead.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yes, that's right.
What exactly is the headpiece to the Staff of Ra?
There are a number of...
Well, I don't know. The headpiece is... or the staff is just a stick, about this tall. Nobody knows for sure how tall it is.
A single drop of his blood fell into an Aelid well, and the crystal formed there. Some believe that Akatosh filled the gem with his own blood when he bestowed the gem upon Lesia as proof of the covenant. Others believe that the Chim El Abadal was created entirely by Akatosh by his own blood, and Lorcan had no part of it.
What I'm really excited about is getting to listen to him say all of this again. Oh, the lengths I go to record these videos for 7 of you.
His intelligence is irrefutable, and would almost certainly resonate with the other relics in the same way.
Oh my god.
Precisely, to send the champion of Cyrodiil to Menka Cameron's realm of oblivion. After Martin's sacrifice, the armor was returned to Sancre Tor and placed back in Tiber.
Sancre Tor. That's where we're going.
Part of that armor in order to prove my theory and proceed forward with reforming the amulet.
So this is a new plane of existence that I saw for the first time when I recorded this. The first time with the horrible sound. So not exactly going to be able to walk through this, but it is going to be faster than it was the first time, thankfully, because that video was pretty long. And this one will be less long.
Their cousins, the aliens, may well have had a similar power. So I looked into it, and I've managed to uncover an alien waystone, which seems to confirm my theory. I believe it may well send you to Sancre Tor.
It does.
The way the stones apparently worked was that they would be warm, and that the person would be drawn to an alien site near their blood-bound kin. It was a way for royalty to quickly summon their elite guard to them.
So what I will do is try to draw attention to major differences between this second playthrough and my initial original playthrough when it matters. That might be the actually the foundation on what I had to say, as opposed to my initial reaction.
Yes, hopefully that will be.
Look at me yawn and stretch as he talks.
There is no
Oh
telling
my
what may
god.
be lurking there. Be well and return safely.
Okay. But actually, so to make it fair, I'm going to up my difficulty from Master to Legendary. If I know even how to do that. Look at her, she's already looking down submissively. That's kind of hot. Alright, let's go to Sancre Tor here. Some mysterious forces preventing... Okay, that's not good. So, I've just been calling this place Sacre Bleu. For some reason, I have a better time remembering than Sancre Tor, although it's basically the same thing.
I send you to your rest.
So this area, as I was kind of running around, reminded me a lot of that area that you go to from Morvarskar, because it seems way bigger than it actually is. This marker tells you to go to this door, which is locked, which threw me for a loop for a little bit. And to be honest, I spent a lot of time running around in here, because it says that you have to find a key, which is in this area. Oh, I forgot. I was like, why is this way harder? Oh, I forgot. I changed it to... Oh yeah, I'm making it fair because I've already done this.
I don't like to boast, but I'm superior to you in every possible way. Who am I kidding? I love to boast.
Ow. Oh yeah, this is going to be different. Oh, this should be fun. But then, eventually, through just a lot of exploration, I found where this key is. And since I feel it's kind of more fair, because at least it's going to take me way less time to find the keys and way more time to get through these bad guys. So I feel that's kind of an even trade, right?
Good enough.
I don't know. I don't think there's actually more of them. Let's see, but if I remember correctly, no, it's actually here. Do I remember? Now I don't know if I even remember. It's not quite that bad, but maybe. Oh, let's see. Nope, this isn't the right way.
Down and out.
That's the last of them. Death comes for us all.
So I eventually found where the key was, and actually, I feel a little screwed because the day I was doing this, the weather was way crazier. Like, it was way harder to see. So I actually must have passed this chest several times before I actually saw it, which is right here. And that's the key that you need. But I was saying it reminded me of that area where you get the sanguine rose from the Daedric Prince of Mischief, because it just seems way bigger than it is through level design, but you're actually enclosed in a pretty small area. Alright. Whew. So with all due respect to Legacy of the Dragonborn, and I know that I give it some grief about how long-winded some of the conversations are, the dungeons in it are actually pretty amazing. And this is no exception. This dungeon is unique and amazing and really good. So I enjoyed playing through it the first time.
How are you doing?
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to play it on Legendary, actually, for a couple of reasons. There's kind of some balancing issues I've always felt between Master level and Legendary level. Basically, it's just more time consuming to kill each bad guy. They just have a lot more hit points and do a lot more damage to you every time they hit you. So it's questionable from just a viewing enjoyment perspective whether that's a better level to play on for recordings of gameplay, because all you're really doing is kind of just making each battle take longer. I mean, it makes it more difficult, but for a different reason than maybe it should. It's just a matter of time, right? As opposed to skill, of which I have none anyway. So in all honesty, when I ran through here the first time, I saw that through the smoke and the fog, but I still fell in it. Which surprised anybody. But I thought this room was really cool, like the mist on the ground. So I did basically the same thing I'm doing now, which is I explored all around the outer reaches to try to determine where I needed to go. See, I mean, it's more time consuming to kill them. It kind of makes each battle a little bit cooler. They may be more fun, so. And then I found this door, which requires a key, which I don't have. So then that tells you what you need to do next. I ignored all of that internal area, which is what I'm going to still do. I'll probably try to, as much as I can remember, at least mimic the motions I went through when I was originally playing. And then, but then maybe skip a lot of the back and forth that I did. So the first thing I really did is I just tried to figure out what every single door did without actually going through it, but to at least get it on my map. Right? I like having it in my back pocket, literally. And then I did determine that the place you end up going for that key is in here. So these are the Sancre Tor prisons. Although I also think I remember that I determined that there was a better door to go into for these prisons, because it kept you from having to do this so close to this door.
This does it! You are an abomination. The kindest thing to do.
I'm kind of hoping it's evident during this scene that I fixed the sound problems in a number of ways. One is you should be able to wait more easily hear my prattling even when a lot of noises are happening. My other hope is that
Do you even exist?
maybe at least to some degree I've fixed the rampant sound of me pressing buttons. Or at least made it not quite as obvious how frantically I hit buttons. I mean, the Legendary does make you work a little harder. not sure that's an enjoyable way to watch a video, but maybe. If you want to let me know in comments if you like the legendary difficulty rather than the master difficulty. Makes the playthroughs longer, that's for sure. Some of the fights will be more entertaining. I'll die even more frequently than I do already. One of the changes I made relatively recently is I started including every single time I die. I'm not sure that's been terribly noticeable yet, because in the last few playthroughs I feel like I haven't died all that frequently. I don't feel like I've edited out, or would have edited out too many. As I said at the beginning of this video, I have to replay the dungeon that I did next also. And in that one, I died a lot. And I'm going to die less frequently when I do it again. But I will mention all the reasons I died so many times. But as I was playing through that one, I know that there's something particular I need to... Oh yeah, it's here. As I was playing through that one, I was like, how am I going to edit out all of these... Oops, fuck.
You've obviously never met me, otherwise you would be powering right now.
But at least now you'll get a real sense of everything. I mean, maybe a little bit more. Will she or won't she? Die. So there are just a little bit more stakes to the whole thing. So after a little bit of exploring the prison, I found this. And the key's not in here, but I think this is something that the museum guy wanted.
You don't look so tough to me.
But the key is actually... Where is it? In here.
You are an abomination. You wouldn't be the kindest thing to do.
I thought it was in here. Jesus, why am I on fire? Yeah, the key bearer right there. I guess Lucien, the man, killed him. So that's the key you need. And then this is the... Oh, no, this isn't. I thought that was the pit I fell into when I fell through that grate, but it's not. All right. But if I remember correctly, I think this key is the one that you need to open that locked door that we found in that other big room. Okay, so then to duplicate the run-through I did, I had a pretty good idea. I knew where this key went, but since I hadn't explored this middle area, I did that first to see what this was. And to see if anything came out and tried to attack me when I did that, which it didn't, except Lucien. So then I took the key I just acquired and unlocked this door. And said, oh shit, when I saw that. So then I just wanted to look around for a while. Oh, that blade actually just reminded me of something, which is, I think I missed something in the prison, I suppose. Since I just kind of knew what I was doing, I didn't fully have to explore the prison that time. I didn't open every single cell, because you have to pick every lock, fuck that. But I did explore it a little bit more than I felt I needed to this time, but now I remember that one of the reasons you have to explore the prison is there's something else I think you need in there. I think this is what I just got. Right, again? See, but they leave you alone. It's just that kind of weird. But are they going to when you get what you've come for? So there's a ancient chest. And to be honest, I missed this the first time too. I had to come all the way back here and get this. I'm not going to make that mistake again. And then in here, there's lots of stuff. But there's also this Helm of Tiber Septim, which is what you want. And then you assume these guys are going to attack you, but they actually don't. Well, I'm playing it on Legendary to make that fair. I mean, you got to admit, it has its pluses and minuses, right? Just go with it. It's just 2 episodes where I have to redo them because my sound was so messed up. And it's not like it's been great up until now anyway, so it must have been really bad for me to redo it. And then I can't remember what I did, so I probably followed the arrow, which is what I usually do when I don't know what to do. It looks like it's taking me to this door, which I don't even remember what this is. Noticeably stronger, but I wouldn't say significantly stronger.
I will end this.
Make sure one's not sneaking up behind us.
Rest in peace.
I mean, one of the things I've still done is I've given all my followers really weak weapons. So they're just mostly in my way, but not necessarily very frequently taking my kills. Oh yeah, then this room, which the first time I saw it, I thought was amazing, and I still do. Right? I mean, and it's not filled with bad guys. It kind of looks like there's going to be a boss in here. Let's see if there is. But what I discovered when I was running through here is all of this was the library in here. Yeah, that's exactly what you said last time. Sarcastically, I might add. But it actually is kind of a way to get quite a few books for the other library.
Problem solved.
I don't remember what that is. I can't remember if we have to care or not. Because I mostly just remember that going in this room, I kind of, from the outer circle, went in a inner circle down to the bottom, picking up books along the way. Which is about as exciting as it sounds. So I'll do it a little faster this time. But I mean, even this late into the game, it's actually amazing that we're seeing any books that we still need to pick up. I mean, there's so many books in this game. I mean, you gotta believe that Bethesda, if they didn't, even for this game, and maybe they probably didn't in 2011, you gotta believe that they're gonna use AI to write all of this crap for Elder Scrolls 6. Right? Because who reads these? Can you imagine? Yep, so this is kind of what I did. You can't believe it, or you're not happy with it. Okay. And actually, probably right about at that same time that Dova was complaining, I noticed how close I was to this arrow into this, which is when I discovered that there are 3 of these throughout this dungeon I need to find. And that's one of them, which I did not walk past the first time. I noticed that red handle. And I actually killed these in advance because it just looked like they were going to attack me from behind. And they don't look too easy. And they're not. They're legendary for sure. Woof. And the other one too. Since it looks like he's... Yeah, they are definitely way harder than they were. Just sitting there, not paying attention, I was able to power swing them in 2 hits rather than 10. And that's when you find out that you have to find the keyblades, which are those 3 swords. I explored this whole room a little bit more, and I don't think there's anything else in here. So I have 2 of the 3, and I think I remember that the last one actually is in the prison, I think. But maybe this reminds me where it is. Oh, maybe that's why you need to go into the catacombs, maybe. Oh, that could be. Yep. And this is where I ended up when I fell through that pit that I mentioned the first time. When you run over that grate that I said I fell through, even though I saw it in advance. You fell through. Dum-dum. It threw you down in here, so I had to fight my way out of here, which, as you can tell, was a hell of a lot of fun.
Time to fight.
And I actually got lost in here for a little bit.
You're as good as dead.
So yeah, this is way more challenging than it was on Master. Well, it's like a little bit more. Oh. And I can't remember where the actual sword was, of course, so it still will be a little bit of what it was like before,
Was that something you wanted?
which was I was trying to figure out what I was doing, where I was going. Did they have something I wanted? All of these different swords, but it's not the one you want. I think the one you want's pretty hard to miss.
Okay then.
Okay, well if you just keep standing there, oh, okay. He puts his sword away to run away. That was hilarious. That's the way we came, though. Alright, which way?
After you.
Damn right, don't you forget it. Which way do we go? I guess maybe this way? Yeah.
Now fight!
Ow! A little help over here.
I'm helping.
That was exhilarating.
Yeah, right? You were holding your own there, Lucian. You were holding your own euphemistically. Put that thing away. See, I have a feeling I don't want to get hit by even one of those arrows. Probably definitely not more than one. Yeah, I remember him being stuck last time. I don't remember being able to blow him out of his little hole. Get your mind out of the gutter. True that. Oops. Look at him hiding in the shadows.
Take that.
Yep, there's the arrow. Let's go get it first. Yep, so I have all three. I think those are all the same. There is one runestone in here which is really shitty. I'm not exactly sure I remember which one it is, but if I can't remember for sure and I see one, I won't click it. Because what it does is it takes away all your magic. Which was asinine. So, even though I'm trying to duplicate, to a large degree, what it was like the first time I played this, other than how awesome it was just to see all of this for the first time, I'm not going to do that, because that sucked.
You know you're excited to see me, but perhaps you should wait for a more appropriate moment before trying to dive on top of me.
I don't know what this is, so let's try it. It can't be picked, it requires a key to open. Yeah, I don't remember having that key last time either, so. But I don't think you need it either. I think we can just return to where we came from. I mean, this is just basically one long hall with twists and turns. I'm not exactly sure why I got lost. Every time I came into this room, I kept expecting something bad to happen. But, I mean, look how cool it looks. Keep passing something here that... Is it just books that I'm passing that makes it seem like there's something really good? And it's not, it's just books. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Alright, I'm not sure why there are two competing arrows here, but... Oh, I think because there's two different ways to get to where we need to go next. Unlock the Underking's tomb. It seems to think we need to come back here. So when I came back here again, all of these people were kind of more alert. They were standing up. See, there's one that's standing up. But Did I miss something again? Maybe. But I didn't engage them, and I'm not going to again because it worked so well. I talked to them, and they sat back down, which was odd. So obviously I liked that a lot, so we're going to do that again. I thought I got everything the second time. That was the whole point of... Maybe it makes you have to come back here. Oh, maybe I missed something again this time. Oh yeah, see, I picked this up the first time, and now I missed that. Dumb. Okay, you need that. Even though I was extra careful, I still needed to come back twice. What's the regal jewel? I want it. Okay. Yep. Just can't help it. Come back into this room twice. Figures. Alright. Because I did actually see that key the first time. It's embarrassing that I missed it this time. Okay, and then, if I remember right, where we have to go ultimately was back to the prisons. Let's see. And when I was exploring the prisons thoroughly, see, I saw all of these cell doors, and they're all locked with different levels. I skipped all of them, but as I was exploring, I did run into this the first time, which I ran past because I knew it was locked, was this locked door, and that was ultimately the last key that you needed to get, which we just got. Can't remember if there's any. No, there's nothing in here except just to get out. This is the room where the magic happens. Oh, look, literally. So I know that boulders land on your head when you do this. I'm going to try to avoid it this time, but I didn't, obviously, the first time.
No!
So I actually, not to brag, but I don't think I actually died the first time I played through this dungeon at all on master difficulty. And I feel comfortable with what sounded like a brag because in the next episode that plays next, in that dungeon, I literally die without hyperbole 1,000,000 quadrillion times. Which makes me a little nervous about offering to do that one on Legendary. So the fact that I died here just now is a little odd, because I was not expecting that. So I guess I'm just going to take the boulders at face value. What the fuck? Fuck! Fuck. Maybe I had to do this first, because I do, now that this is happening, I do remember fighting him. And I actually remember having to deal with this before I tried at all, so this could be the difference. That actually would make a little bit of sense. Okay, now that that happened, that makes more sense, right? Let's see. Okay, that's a good sign. Yeah, that must have been it. I fought those people before I tried to do this. I don't. So then there's just the dumb rocks. God. And then he shows up. Yep, this looks way more...
like to boast, but I'm superior to you in every
And at
possible
Legendary,
way.
this is gonna be fun.
I love to boast.
God! Yeah, he was way harder. Ooh.
Speaking with you is not in my schematics. Okay, I lied. But that doesn't mean I like the act.
Okay, let's not forget what we have to get. We have to get all of this shit that he was carrying.
What do you need?
I need you to get
Bye
the fuck
for
out of the
now.
way. Okay. There we go. Well, that was
What
ridiculously.
a savage place Skyrim is. Absolute worst. 0 out of 10.
Okay, and then it just tells us to take off the waystone. And we can't. So then I was like, well, what the fuck? It told us to take it off. But it's because you have to take it off in the courtyard. Or I guess maybe here you can take it off. You can take it off. You can't take it off in that room. I think I remember not having to go all the way outside. Maybe it was just right here. In fact, I think it told me when I could, if I remember right. Yeah. Oh, no, it was this. Alright. And then I do remember thinking this part was really cool when it was happening, although I also felt like I could never get a good enough view.
The wayward
him.
daughter returns home.
Alright.
I am the voice. I am the eye. I am the breath which makes Akatosh's will known. And you are his child.
Maybe because it's doing the
Dovahkiin.
Elden Ring thing, which is
You
if they
are
can't
the
see the mouth,
gatherer
we
of
don't have to
symbols of
animate
those
it.
who came before you, brought here to beseech his lordship to do thine bidding.
I mean, I'm going to do the same thing I did last time because I'm trying to imitate that as much as possible because I knew I was trying to do that.
Humility you may have, yet the full offering you do not. The blood of the mother you have in full, yet the breath of the father you have yet to fully obtain.
I have the breath of my
Go
uncle.
forth and make whole the symbols of the offering, so that the heart too may once again be made whole.
I think I just disappear. Yep. And then I end up back here, where I took off. And that was such a long episode the first time. It's no shorty this time, and I knew what I was doing. Can you imagine how long it was? So, and I knew that he was going to talk for about 25 minutes, especially since he warns us that it's a lengthy tale. So that's where I stopped that episode the first time, and that's what I'm going to do right here. See you next time. Bye-bye.